Welcome back to Ultra Team Development. I just want to talk today a little bit about integrating a new leader into an existing team. This is something that happens all the time. Maybe for some teams it happens, once in a blue moon. But well, for the most part, a new leader integrating into a team is a pretty regular thing, at least on an annual or semi-annual basis. So, what are the things that happen when a new leader joins into the team? Well, initially you have quite a few hopes. I mean, you've got some excitement, you've got someone with some fresh ideas, and a new point of view, so they can look at old things from a new perspective. They're going to inject some freshness into the team as well, and that's always a good thing. And then logistically, they can look for opportunities to update old or redundant systems, and all of those are pretty positive when it comes to bringing in a new leader, whether they're the team leader, the boss, or someone else who's just a part of that whole spectrum. So some of the initial challenges of entering a new team are they don't know anyone, so they're going to be coming in and outside of a few orientations or a few initial one-on-ones, they really don't know who they're working with. So they're going to try to tie into what are already established ways and habits for that existing team. Um, that existing team is going to have to buy in to the new ideas. So now we're relying on charisma or communication or rollout, anything like that. And vice versa, the new leader has to buy in to maybe some of the non structured, established elements of how that team operates. So, what's the overall fit is basically what we're looking at that point. So, how long does that take to figure that out? How good is this fit, and what's it going to do, and how do you move forward with that? So, let's assume that that person is qualified. They know what to do, they're skilled, they've gone through the vetting process, and they are the right candidate for that person to take on the responsibilities of that role. So it could be quick. It could be within a few weeks, maybe a month or two. They start to know their people, and they're easy to get along with, or whatever happens to be. Uh, but there's a little bit of a luck of the draw on that, whether it fits or doesn't. Is regardless of the skill set, you could have someone who's joining a team who is completely skilled in what they have to do, and yet at the same time is not going to fit in very well with maybe the dynamics of that team. So let's just say, given the myriad of possible team makeups, let's be positive here and go for a more optimistic outlook. Let's say the chances are 15 to 20%, just to pull some numbers out of the air on whether that new leader is going to be a good fit for that team, given the makeup of all of the unique elements of what's going on. So at this point, it could be 6 months to a year to create a new rhythm. How well are they operating? Are there any pushback points from those already in the team? Are there people who are gelling really quick, but then that creates division elsewhere? Who knows, right? I mean, ideally, you're looking at not having those situations show up. And then what's the arc of a year look like? Is there seasonality to the business? So what they learn today, is that going to be different than what they need to be operating under in 4 to 6 months? And then in 9 months, and then back into a year. So the first year is really new territory, unless you have a type of business that has this very metered month to month, identical sort of platform. So now the other scenario is, what if they come in and they're great, they fit in, everything's working really, really well, you've got buy-in on both sides, the integration seems to be going well, and that's all coming about just through some shared excitement. But then the day-to-day occurs, and now you start to see a few cracks in that system, which always requires some maintenance. So I'm going to get into a little bit around what that's going to be, but at the same time, I'm going to remind you now, as opposed to the end of the video, if you do like what you're kind of hearing from Ultra Team Development, hit the I'm going to do one of those. Hit the like and subscribe button, and that would be lovely. Okay, so now let's say that you already had a really strong team analysis. You knew who was on the baseline of your team already, and then now you are putting in a new leader. So that's a really great scenario. You know what the behavioral style is of the existing team and how they tend to operate already, and then the unique values that each of those people have within the team. And so now with the new leader, you can do several things. You can either try to vet that process early on and figure out what their style is, what their leadership behaviors are like, and kind of vet that in as an added data point towards the recruitment and hiring and vetting process. Now, you won't be able to use that as a sole basis. Just to be very clear about that. But it could be added data. Another one is that once they've actually qualified for the role, then you can actually do a team fit assessment. So, well, I've got candidate A, B, and C. Let me do a behavioral analysis on all three of them and see which ones seem to be having the best opportunity, or the ones that you can kind of rank them out in that way, and then follow up your final interview or your final proposal with that data in mind. So that's something that that can happen as well. And then lastly, let's say you love everything about this new leader, you want them to be a part of the team, you think they can do wonderful things, and you've done a great job with onboarding. So now they're hired, and you want to create awareness for them about how the team operates, and you want the team to understand how this new leader operates. That is really where a lot of the strength is going to come in for. So it's not going to second guess all the other good things you have going on. It's going to be an added benefit of, now that you know that this is the team you want, how do you create that synchronicity, and how do you create that mesh so everything kind of ties together? And this is where Ultra Team Development works primarily. Absolutely, we can help you with some of the monitoring who your candidates are and how you want to incorporate who and where and what sort of role would they best fit. However, trusting that you've already got systems in place, just being able to go in and go, okay, great, we now know with no uncertain terms. This is really what they like as far as communication is concerned. This is how our team likes to operate, and how do we create systems to now make those two realities an actual thing. And if that is an area you're interested in exploring, then drop us a line. You can comment below. I'm going to do that again. You can comment below or reach out via email, WhatsApp, through our website as well. We have an inquiry form on the website, and you can even just go in and book an initial 20, 30-minute consultation. There's no charge. You just book me in and go, hey, I want to talk to you a little bit about this in further detail, and I'm happy to do so. I'll add the links in the description below, and hope you guys have a great week. Take care.